Hello, gorgeous souls. I am reading over my own classes. So, you know that I used to do, and I'm going to return to this really soon, but I used to do the Inner Glow coaching calls on Thursdays. And I was just looking over the last couple of weeks, I've been looking through my notebook of notes where I write all of my classes out. And I was just sitting out here and going through one lesson at a time. And I thought this one is a good one to share. And I'm just going to give you the 7 points, okay? But this class was called The Power of Release. And for those of you who have access to the Inner Work University portal, you have access to the Inner Glow coaching calls. And all you have to do is go on there and you could listen to the full class. It's called The Power of Release. And so I wanted to talk about that really quickly because I think we get to a point in all of our lives where we know we need to release something. For some people, it's relationship or hurt or um, mindset. It doesn't necessarily have to be um, anything like really super detrimental, but just enough that we know that we need change. And so, in that, a lot of times what we try to do is we try to release it from the outside in, and really what releasing is from the inside out. We have to start within everything, and this is a key to life, key to coaching, life, spirit, all of that. Everything in our world shifts within, begins within, and it also, I'm going to say, dies within, meaning that you no longer have the desire for it. And because you no longer have the desire for it, or the will to, or the mind to, or whatever, then on the outside, it can dissipate. And so, with that, I wanted to just share these 7 keys to release. And it's using the word release as an acronym. Before I do that, I want to look up the word release. I want to define that. Okay, it means to allow or enable to escape from confinement or to set free. It also means to allow something to move, act, or flow freely. And the next definition is the action or process of releasing or being released. And then the last one is the action of making a movie, recording, or a product available for general viewing or purchase. So, releasing a movie. And sometimes we release what's on the inside of us out to the world in the same way that a movie is released. So, when you're doing the inner work and you are reprogramming yourself and reprogramming your life, then it's time to release that to the world. And that's a beautiful thing. It doesn't feel like it always at first, because sometimes we don't know how people are going to take us. But if you really do the inner work, you get to a point where it doesn't matter how they take you. You're going to, and you choose to release yourself and be free. So, with that, these are the 7 ways to release. And so, again, I'm using it as an acronym. So, the first one is R, and that is get real about what you need to release. Okay? It seems like every time I start recording, a bug or something flies around me, and there's this big whatever this is. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Thank you. Okay. R is get real about what you need to release. You can't release it if you don't realize that it is detrimental or it's a problem for you in some kind of way, or if it's a roadblock, or if it's some kind of thing that impedes your progress. Unless you know what it is, you really can't release it. You have to really be able to identify what it is. Um, and in that, I say you can't heal until you get real. You cannot heal until you get real. That's the same way. What's the quote? You can't heal what you won't reveal. The whole idea of that is awareness. You have to be aware of where you are, what's going on in your life, maybe why it's going on, how it's going on, where it's going on, when it's going on, so that you can deal with it accordingly. Um, so that is number one, release, meaning get real about what you need to release. And here's the thing, how do you do that? You look around at your life. When I say look around at your life, I mean look within first and then out. So whenever I have an outer condition that's happening in my life, I immediately go within to see where I caused that, where I created that. Because as Neville Goddard says, your world is yourself pushed out. But at the same time, you also have to continue to evaluate your inner world. So how do you get real about what you need to release? You do that by looking at your life. You see what the issues are. You see maybe what the, where maybe you are stuck. Okay, you pay attention to that, or whatever feels uneasy. You look at that first, and then you ask yourself, what in me created this? What in me caused this? What in me allowed this? Okay, and then that's when you can identify whatever it is in you that created the thing or miscreated the thing, then you know that that's something that you need to heal but also release. And this is a difference. Okay, healing means you do the work to I'm gonna say what just came up for me is Mary Ann Williamson. She says everything is love or a call to love. Everything is either love or a call to love. And so the heal part is, if this is something I know I need to heal and not necessarily release. Release means I let it go. It's no longer a part of me. I set it free according to the definition. I set it free. But to heal, that part is that you do the inner work and get to a space where that thing is loved, and it is love, that you transmute it from the harm that it may be, or the issue that it may be, the bad that it may be, whatever you want to call it. You do the inner work and you transmute that into love. So that's the heal part. So that's the difference between knowing what you need to heal and what you need to release. Okay. Well, that's not knowing the difference, but those are the two things that we have to do. You can either, what we can choose to do is to heal it or to release it. Now, how do you know? How do you know is based on time. If it's something that I'm not going to say it's based on time either. It's based on an inner knowing. And this is why we have to have some type of spiritual grounding in our relationship with God, our relationship with Holy Spirit, however way you want to word that. Having that grounding in spirit is the inner knowing of what you need to heal or what you need to release. Okay, so that is number one. R is get real about what you need to release. And notice I said need, because sometimes what we want to hold on to is something that we need to let go. So, need to release. Number two is you want to expect the fallout. Expect the fallout. And let me say this, when you begin to do the inner work to either heal something or to release something, then what happens is there will be some fallout. There will be inner fallout where you're uncomfortable within yourself. But then also, too, there will be outer fallout. You know, there'll be people in your life that are uncomfortable because now you are releasing maybe them. You're releasing parts, aspects of that relationship. Or maybe you are healing and becoming a different type of, a different person within yourself. And as you do that, there's going to be some fallout. And it's okay. I'm learning in my 55 years of life that sometimes that fallout is holy and God ordained. What it means is that the system has been disrupted, or the way, the pattern, the thing that they may be used to you being doing and having, or maybe you are used to you being doing and having, is being disrupted. So there will be fallout. The inner fallout will be you'll constantly probably hear your inner critic trying to criticize you and say you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, and you know, just give you all types of narratives and stories. And then the outer fallout can be the same. But that's because you are disrupting a system. You are disrupting a pattern that you've had in your life for as long as you've had it. Okay. The third one is love yourself enough to let go and set yourself free. Love yourself enough to let go and set yourself free. Self-love is God's love. And the power of self-love is freedom. It's a space where you're unapologetically you. And so the process of getting to a space where you love yourself enough to set yourself free is making sure that you are in alignment with the relationship that you have with yourself. Because sometimes we are out of alignment with the relationship that we have with ourselves. And I say this all the time, you are with you from conception to transition. Okay? And because you are with you from conception to transition, your relationship with you is the most important relationship of your life. Because out of that is how your world is formed. So if your relationship with yourself is contentious, if you are having, some people have strife with themselves. Some people don't believe in themselves. Some people don't love themselves. Some people don't have any regard for themselves. And you cannot be free until you actually really truly love yourself. So that's really the start of it. It's self-love. And I know for me, for many years, I suffered from low self-esteem, low self-worth. Basically, uncertain of who I was, didn't know how to love myself. And it wasn't until I read a book, Healed Without Scars by David G. Evans, that I realized that that's what was missing in my life was I needed to heal the scars. I need to do all the inner work, but it started with self-love. It started with me truly loving myself. And in loving myself, I discovered God's love. Because I knew about God's love, I felt it on occasions, but it wasn't until I started developing a relationship with myself, that self love, that I really truly discovered God's love. So that is L. Number 3 is love yourself enough to let go and set yourself free. E. Endure. When you are needing to release something, and I'm going to say heal and release something, but specifically talking about release. When you're needing to release something, you have to endure. I always say this, that we have to love ourselves to it, and we have to love ourselves through it. And that loving through and loving to is endurance. You have to endure, because what we're doing is we are undoing conditioning that caused us to have whatever that situation is that we need to release. So it's going to take for you to endure. Not only that, but you're going to want to give up sometimes, because sometimes you'll feel like this is not working or this is really hard. And this goes for, let's say, working out. Maybe you need to work out more, whatever it is. It goes for anything that you need to release in your life, or anything that you need to reset also. But you're going to want to give up because it feels hard. It feels taxing. It feels stressful. But when you endure and you get to the other side, you'll start to feel the release. You'll start to feel lighter. You'll start to feel that love. You'll start to feel that love. And when you start to feel that, that will give you the energy to continue until you look around, and that thing that you wanted to release is no longer affecting you, no longer a part of what triggers you, what bothers you, what just take, for example, working out, just using it as an example. When you start that, at first your muscles are sore, but they always say keep going, and then you keep going, and you keep going, and then you keep going. And what happens is, after a certain period of time, maybe you start to regret it, and maybe you don't feel like doing it, and all of that. Whenever you continue and you endure, after a period of time, then it becomes almost like well, it becomes a habit, absolutely, but it becomes more of a, this is what you're used to now. And it's not necessarily something that you're trying to do anymore. It's just something that you do. It's your lifestyle. And so that's why when you get to a space in endurance kind of turns into, now it's my life. And when it comes to releasing, it's hard at first. It's hard to release habits, vices. It's hard to release people out of your life and all of that. But the more you do it, and the more you be consistent, and the more you stand in that decision, then one day you're going to look up and it's going to be like, oh, that doesn't bother me anymore. Or, oh, I'm free. I don't have to deal with that anymore. I think about people who are, sobriety, celebrating every day, 100 days, 200 days, 10 years, 5 years, whatever, because every day is a day on the other side of the thing that you released, and it's worth celebrating. A, so this is number 5. A is align with your life, align your life as if it's already done. Align your life as if it's already done. So whatever thing that you're wanting to release, you need to start just acting like it's already done. Because truly it is. When you make a decision, and here's the thing, our decisions are so powerful. Because when you decide something, it's already done in spirit, and it's already done in reality. I talked about reality a couple of days ago, yesterday, whenever I was live, but it's already done in reality. What you're doing now is there's a process for it to manifest in experience. And so when you make a decision that you're going to release, now it's a part of the process is, and I talked about that, that it exists in reality. We think it, and then we start speaking it and all of that. Well, a part of that process is also aligning your life. It's called coherence. It's called alignment. Where you get to a space where it's your new normal. So start to align your life with whatever it is, or around whatever it is that you are releasing. Not want to release, but that you are releasing. Okay. Number 6S is stop making excuses. That's a part of that inner critic. That's a part of the inner voice that tells you that you can't do it. It's hard. People are gonna call you crazy. People are gonna say something about you. All of that. Then you have the power to stop making excuses and really get to a space in your life where you put your big girl panties on and you say, hey, I'm doing this regardless. I'm doing this. I'm releasing. I'm letting go. Because here's the thing. You have to understand and know that whatever it is for your greatest good. It is for your elevation. It is for your highest level of good. Okay? So stop making excuses and just do it. Again, in the beginning, it's going to be challenging, maybe hard, maybe difficult. But determination and endurance can get you through that. So stop making excuses. All excuses is your reasons to quit. You don't need a reason to quit when it comes to your betterment. And so that's number 6. And number 7 is you want to embrace the changes, don't resist them. Because as you start to release, things will start to shift. When things shift, don't take that as a sign to say, oh, wait, things are changing and I don't want to change. Things are supposed to change when you're releasing anything that no longer serves you. And when they begin to change, do not resist. Allow yourself to embrace whatever it is. And as you do that, what you'll find is you are in the embracing, there is an undoing that happens. Also in embracing, there's a rest, which is the opposite of resistance. There's a rest. And what I'm learning about rest is that when we truly rest in our faith, rest in our belief, rest in our goals, our aspirations, and all of that, when we stop resisting, then what happens is the universe, God, takes everything that's in motion, and it starts to speed it up, because now you're out of the way. And when you get out of the way, things happen, things change. And a lot of times we're in our own way because we want to feel comfortable, we want to feel good. And sometimes that wanting to feel comfortable and wanting to feel good also it's toxic. You know, we want to feel good in our mess because it's a comfort zone. And that is never a good thing. And I'm talking to myself because I've been there before. And I find myself in that space sometimes in life, and I'll recognize it quicker than I used to. And I'll be like, wait, hold on, I'm getting too comfortable here. Let me make sure that I, you know, fix this. Get the hell up out of here. Fix this. So, um, that's it. And so in my notes, I have releasing begins with a decision. Then after that, you must do the work. Well, after that, you use your words, and then after that, you do the work. Um, and that's all I have here. So, thank you for letting me come on and share. Again, this message is called The Power of Release. And for those of you who have access to the Inner Work University portal, I think only one person does, because she's a coaching client. But that class is The Power of Release inside of the Inner Glow Coaching Calls part of the portal. So that's all I wanted to share. I hope you have an amazing Wednesday. Wednesday is like what I like to call it. And a great rest of your week. Take care.